Oprah Winfrey just gave Milwaukee a giant virtual hug. Her COVID Relief Foundation is donating $12 million to underserved populations all over the country. And as part of her generosity, Oprah donated $100,000 to two Milwaukee agencies. In an exclusive interview, I talked to the media legend about her gift, her life in quarantine, and her reflections on lessons learned.
Both of the places that you did that you're giving the money to, St. A and Nia Imani, I did Positively Milwaukee's own.
So Nia Imani has remained in my heart. It's not my first donation to Nia Imani, but I just, I called them up during this time and say, tell me what you need. And, they told me less than I even gave. I was like, wow, y'all don't need a whole lot. I literally called and said, tell me what you need. I had my foundation folks call up there and say, tell us what the women need, what the babies need, what you all need to get through this time. I was so impressed with what that organization has been able to do for inner city women who are trying to get back on their feet. So I'm telling you, these organizations that I have given to in Milwaukee are reputable. Not only are they reputable, but they are bringing the service where it's most needed in the community. These come vetted with the understanding that they are there to serve, and what they do goes directly into the community.
That mental health is so important, that counseling, we can't stop that, and especially we've seen in Milwaukee an increase of domestic abuse.
I knew that was going to happen, Carol. I knew that two things were going to happen with this. First of all, you're going to have more babies when you come out of here. 9 months from now, hospitals are going to be filled. And you're going to have more divorces because people are going to recognize during this time that the person that I have been with for 2 months is not the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. And now's the time to change that. Also, you're going to have an increase in domestic violence. You're going to have an increase in violence against children. You're going to have an increase in sexual abuse and sexual assault because those children have no way of reporting it and no way of being seen by other people who can see that they've been harmed. I have two of my girls who I've known since they were 12, who grew up in South Africa and went to my school there and went to school here at college in the United States. And they have made it delightful. We have family meetings. We're now working on a puzzle together, which I'm not very good at. We do movies every night. Stedman went to sleep on last night's movie, but we've made the best of the situation. I haven't had any worries because I accepted immediately, and a lot of people didn't accept. They grieved what they didn't have.
Right.
They were grieving what I wish I could do, and I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do that. I stopped the wishing because this is what it is.
Are you planning to come back soon, Oprah, to Pat's Ribs Place?
No, I'm not. I talked to my niece, Alicia, who runs Pat's Ribs Place, and I think they're doing a good job there. And was coaching her through the whole thing. I was saying, y'all are going to have to shut down. And if you're not going to shut down, you're certainly going to have to just be doing curbside service. So I think that, they have managed to move the tables farther apart. They've managed to keep their workers on, and we're serving people, curbside. But I have no plans to come back. Normally I come back for Thanksgiving.
Darn.
But
right.
I don't have any plans, Carol, to go anywhere for the remainder of this year. And I am really okay with that.
You've mentioned your mom, Vernita. What would she say about your generosity through all of this?
I think she would be not surprised because I was always this kind of kid. Growing up in Mississippi and candy was hard to come by, I was one of those kids that I wouldn't eat my candy until someone else came along to share it. I wasn't a na, I got the candy. I would be like, ooh, this is good. Don't you want some? You want some? So I was that kind of kid. And I still am the kind of person for whom whatever I get, like I just made some chicken in the house and it was so good. I walked around the house like somebody else is gonna have this chicken. I just can't, it's not as good if I just eat it myself.
Do you have a message for people in Wisconsin that might still not be taking this seriously?
There is also something spiritual happening. And I know that if we do not get the lesson now, it will come back in another form and it will be harder. For the people who are not taking it seriously, you don't take it serious now, you'll have another chance. You'll have another chance. I've had no personal pain about it. For my individual self, I've had no, because my great gift is being able to adjust to what is. I do not spend a lot of time just in my spiritual self worried about the thing that I cannot control. This is the thing for me, Carol. I came off the road. I had done a tour for WW. I had been in stadiums that were sold out. I met 135,000 people. I shook so many hands every weekend. I hugged, I kissed, I danced, I cried, So when the news started to be revealed that this pandemic, that the disease was moving across the country, I knew that the last weekend that I spent in Denver was going to be, I thought, if this tour was not ending, I would end it, because I no longer feel safe being out here in the world. I literally have not been out of my gates since March 11th. I just feel like we are all safer at home.
Well, Oprah, thank you so much.
Always a joy, always a joy.
Well, the money Oprah donated to St. A is going to provide 158 clients with virtual mental health services through telehealth. Oprah has no plans on leaving or going anywhere. She's staying in her home for as long as possible.